You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Rain for most of the morning here in New York City, but it's turned into a beautiful evening, and it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the LA Angels of Anaheim in the second game of a four-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Ken Singleton and Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees have been winning of late, and boy, they have been nail-biters. They've had to use the bullpen and right down to the final strike, obviously the final out. Last night was one of those games.
Well, you knew they weren't going to take a lot of runs last night because Kuroda was excellent. And right here, Brett Gardner battles, drives in the first run, but later in the game, this becomes a huge insurance run. Granderson gets a hold of one, his third of the year, because Mariano Rivera had the night off last night. Robertson came in, got a couple big outs, and got that first save of the year on a ball probably out of the strike zone, but it worked.
Again, all of the games of late have been very tight. You can see the numbers might not match the fact that they're 3-1. Just 14 runs in 4 games, low batting average, 5 homers, and an ERA of 4.14. But they won back-to-back games for the first time since July 11th and 12th. Now let's look at tonight's New York Lottery pitching matchup. The left-hander Jason Vargas will go for the Angels, and CC Sabathia for the Yankees. Kenny, in his last 6 starts, the Yankees are 0-6.
That's true, Michael. CC pitched last in Chicago against the White Sox on the 7th of this month, and he pitched a little better than he had been previously. During those 6 games, he is personally 0-4. He hasn't won since his 200th win in his career. But use the defense. He only had 1 strikeout in the ballgame, so he needed a lot of defensive help. This is a great play by Robbie Cano. When CC left the ballgame, the Yankees had the lead. The bullpen blew it, and the Yankees lost that ballgame to Chicago on the 7th.
Now, one of the chores that he has in tonight's game is to stop this guy. Mike Trout can do it all in his second year in the big leagues. You want to know what he can do? Ken Singleton is going to tell you everything he can do when we return right here on Yes. Mike Trout, look what he did last year. Heaven sent indeed. 2012 American League Rookie of the Year, runner-up in the MVP, first player in league history, 30 homers, 45 stolen bases, and 125 runs scored. And oh yeah, by the way, the youngest player to pull off a 30-30. Welcome back to the booth. We'll be rejoined in a moment by Paul O'Neill. That's Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Usually have a great first year like that. You expect the sophomore jinx. We have not seen that.
Mike Trout has been outstanding once again this year, and it's obvious that we're watching one of the better players that come down the pike in a very long time. He's got it all. You hear about 5-tool players. He's got every one of those tools and maybe then some. He's got great power, tremendous speed. He has stolen 26 bases in 30 attempts this year. His defense, well, he's a great center fielder, can also play a tremendous left field as well. Mike Trout, one of the better players that we are going to see in a long, long time. He's on his way to stardom.
Well, the Yankees will try to shut him down today, that's for sure. When we come back, the second game of this 4-game set. Lineups, first pitch, baseball. Next, right here on Yes. The new model year lineup at JaguarUSA.com. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by the Volkswagen Best Thing Ever event. Visit VWDealer.com. Let's turn to a nice evening here in the Bronx. CC Sabathia on the mound. And he is taking his warm-up, so let's take a look at the Angels starting lineup that he's going to face. Angels come in 11 games under 500 at 53 and 64. J.B. Shuck in left field will lead off, batting second and playing right field, Colin Cowgill. Mike Trout in center field will hit third. Cleaning up first baseman Mark Trumbo. Chris Nelson, the third baseman, bats fifth. Batting sixth and DHing Josh Hamilton. Eric Ibar, the shortstop, bats seventh. Batting eighth and catching Chris Iannetta. And Tommy Field, the second baseman, will bat ninth. All right, we'll take a look now at CC's numbers. He is 9-10 with a 4.73 ERA. 133 strikeouts in 160 innings with 173 hits. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Well, he rolled a 7 last time out, 7.1 innings. That's what you're used to seeing from CC Sabathia. Before then, 4 previous starts wasn't too good. Curse of 200. He hasn't won since he recorded his 200th victory since it was on July 3rd. He's pretty impressive here. 13 with 10. If he wins tonight, it'll be 13 consecutive, 10 wins in 13 seasons, which has been in the major leagues. See what happens when I do the scouting reports, Kenny? They're just not as professional.
You know, I understood everything you said, Paul.
Yeah?
Yeah.
J.B. Shuck is ready. Sabathia is ready, and let's do it. Here in the Bronx, pitch is up and away. I did not understand.
Kenny told me, he said, if you mess up, people will just think it's their TV. Don't worry about it.
The 1-0. There's the strike.
Now, CC has pitched against the Angels this year. It was in Anaheim, and he did beat them. It was way back on June the 16th. 8 innings. 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Yankees won 6-5.
Well, this is no secret, but I mean, if you're a Yankees fan and you think that this team can get back in, try to win a wild card or back in this division, CC Sabathia has to win games.
One thing to watch for tonight, I talked to CC about this just the other day. Watch his right shoulder. If it's going downhill, sort of downhill, right at home plate, he wants to come more over the top instead of flying out with the right shoulder. Makes his arm lag, and he can't really pinpoint his control. If his front shoulder is driving straight ahead towards home plate, then he'll be a lot better off.
Swing and a miss.
Good breaking ball there. And again, I mean, CC Sabathia, early in his career, a guy that would throw the ball by you. Much more of a, a pitcher now. You see what Kenny's talking about. Right down towards the hitter. Good strikeout on a good slider.
So one down. That'll bring up Colin Cowgill.
So he has as many strikeouts with the first hitter as he had his last start in Chicago.
It's funny you talk about it. I mean, there's certain things as a pitcher that you have to do mechanically to throw good strikes. Just like a hitter, there's certain things you have to do to be a good hitter.
Mechanics. So I'd always have to have good mechanic when you're getting the car fixed.
Is there anything you have to do up here, Michael? You can stumble and bumble through the scouting report and you still get to come back the next inning.
Well, you could.
Yeah? That didn't work for you?
I don't think it would work for me. Let's check out the defense presented by Geico. Soriano, Granderson, and Wells left to right in the outfield. Infield, Nix, Nunez, Cano, and Overbay. Third to first, and A-Rod is a DH today. Romine's behind the plate, and Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound. Brett Gardner getting the day off. He's been one of the Yankees' hottest hitters. Interesting call by Joe Girardi. And CC has now struck out the first two batters.
2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2. I mentioned last start in Chicago, only 1 strikeout in 7 1/3 innings. That was his season low, so he's taking care of that. As Cowgill is going to chase a pitch out of the strike zone. It may look like a strike until about right here. Then it disappears. Cowgill coming over from the Mets on June 25th.
2 strikeouts, 2 breaking balls, and when he can get ahead in the count and then run that slider on the back foot of these right-handers.
Sort of acts like Kuroda's splitter with 2 strikes.
Well, I tell you what,
that was nasty.
Last night, I just kept going through my head today how good he was and how few pitches he really missed with last night. I mean, you can count them on one hand, and that just doesn't happen.
Got that after wind blow about him. Yeah. After a W glow.
It's a good thing about being an everyday player. You have a good game. You can't wait to get to the ballpark. You get to play again.
Even if you have a bad one.
Yeah, you have a good game as a pitcher. You just got to sit back and relax and put those 4 days in before you get to go out there again. A lot of pitches right there.
They hang together.
But there has been some separation between Kuroda and the other guys. Let's check out the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow 2. 75 degrees, 71% humidity. The wind is 6 miles per hour. There's increasing clouds in the forecast, and there's a chance of rain later in the game.
What's up with that? I thought it was supposed to be sunny and beautiful tomorrow. To clear off before
the 2-2. I think you'll be happy with the Bigelow 2 forecast tomorrow.
Be better?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Now, Trout has reached safely in 34 straight games after last night when you have a base hit and a walk. So that's the longest streak going in the big leagues right now.
Fly ball right field. Wells on the run. And he overran the ball, but it's a foul ball.
Now, Paul, sometimes a ball hit like that in a corner right field, you're running racing as hard as you can because you're playing towards right center field. The wind or something with the stadium makes the ball come back the other way.
Actually did come back, and then it got behind him, and you lose sight of it. You see Vernon Wells, it's like, wow, I overran that ball. And it happens because you start thinking about the wall. You don't have much time. And at the angle, it did come back. Obviously, it's a ball that most of the time you catch.
He's lucky that ball didn't fall fair.
Well, that didn't be worse, huh? Then you got to go chase it while the fans boo at you, huh?
Scored a no play, so no error for Wells. The 3-2. And Trout works a walk.
And now he's reached safely in the 35 straight games. And he also brings that world of speed. This is the one thing that's exciting about types of players that have power and speed. When they got the bat in their hand, they can hurt you. When they get on base, they can still hurt you.
Right. Now, if you didn't know Mike Trout and you looked at his body type, you would never think that he would have the success that he does stealing bases. I mean, he's powerful, he's thick, you look like, and you can tell he can hit and drive the ball, but I mean, he is fast.
That should be a heck of a running back.
Yeah. Chris Carter, a football player down on the field today, I said, you might want to take a look at him. He might be able to play football in the offseason.
In his career, stolen 79 bases, caught 9 times. Trumbo hits one deep to left field. Soriano back, track, wall, see ya. A 2-run home run for Mark Trumbo, and the Angels jump ahead 2-0.
Well, Trumbo made some big outs last night, and you talked about the streak that he's been going through, and it's been a bad one if you're Mark Trumbo, but this is a breaking ball that just sits right out over the plate, kind of speeds his bat up, but he stayed back on it. Big as strong as he is, if he makes good contact, he's usually going to end up in the seats.
He had been 1 for 22. And talking to Mark Langston, who does the radio for the Angels, he said he's a mistake hitter. And that's a mistake. It's right in the middle of the plate, and he tees off and gets a hold of it. He said if you make good pitches, you can get him out. But if you sit one in the middle and he gets good wood on it, it's going to go.
There's Chris Nelson. Nelson struck out with the bases loaded on a 3-2 pitch to end the game yesterday. Pitch was up in the zone. Line drive, a base hit to right center field. Granderson gets the ball in the gap and turns and fires in, holding Nelson to a single.
Nelson had ideas going around first base. Granderson does a good job of cutting that ball off and getting it in quick. Those 2 balls hit right on the nose off CC Sabathia.
Well, Nelson now has his 12th hit since being recalled from the minor leagues. He's 12 for 49 since being called back. And there's what Paul's talking about. Took the big turn and decides to hold on with 2 outs. Out of the same high school as Brandon Phillips of the Cincinnati Reds, the all-star second baseman.
You know, it seemed like not a big deal, but that misplay by Wells just cost you 2 runs. He makes that play, which is a ball that should be made. You're out of the inning 1, 2, 3, and you don't have to worry about Mark Trumbo coming up. So it's not scored an error, and those are earned runs. But if you're watching the game, you know those are unearned runs.
I'll tell you what, if you're Vernon Wells, and we've all been there, Kenny, when you make a play, you just hope that pitcher can pick you up, and you feel horrible out there because you just know exactly what Michael just said. You would have been out of this inning.
1 and 2.
Plus, that means CC has to work that much harder this inning.
Yeah, it's extra pitches. It's now it's a couple runs, and you got Josh Hamilton, who has really struggled off lefties this year, but you got him in a position, where he could do some more damage in this inning. So, just important that CC shuts them down now, get this offense a chance to get back in this game.
Swing and a miss. Hamilton down on strikes. But the Angels scored 2 runs, and one of them, or both of them, came about because of that misplay. That would have been the 3rd out of the inning. Instead, it was a walk, and then the next batter hits a home run. let's take a look at the starting lineup that has to make that up, presented by Lexus. Eduardo Nunez, the shortstop, will lead off, batting second, playing left field, Alfonso Soriano. Robinson Cano at second base hits third. Cleaning up the DH, Alex Rodriguez. Vernon Wells in right field will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing center field, Curtis Granderson. Jason Nix at third base, bats seventh. The number 8 hitter is the first baseman, Lyle Overbay, and Austin Romine is going to catch, and he'll bat ninth. Let's check out the numbers on Jason Vargas, the left-hander for the LA Angels. 6-4, his 15th start. 94 hits and 91 in the third inning. 62 strikeouts, 30 walks. 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. And let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Well, welcome back. He returns to the Angels for the first time since June 17th. He was on the DL recovering from a blood clot in his left arm, and he was Mr. May for the Angels. He was 5-0 with a 2.3 ERA and winless for the Yanks. Good news for the Yankee fans. 0-3 with a 6.55 in 6 career starts.
Now you see this Yankee lineup that we just gave you. It's different. You got Nunez leading off. Gardner has been so integral in the last couple of games, and they're sitting him down. And, you know, Ichiro has a great batting average against lefties and been one of your hottest hitters. So it's getting late in the season to start resting guys. I mean, you almost have to play right through when you have to win almost every game. Just a little bit of an odd lineup. Let's see how it plays out. That one's popped up. Field makes the play. One away. Let's take a look at the defense, which is presented by Geico. In the outfield for the Angels, Shuck, Trout, and Cowgill, left to right. Infield, Nelson, Ibar, Field, and Trumbo, third to first. Iannetta behind the plate. And Vargas is on the mound. Now with the sitting of Gardner, Joe mentioned I want to get as many righties as I can into the lineup, and you know, it's good to give the guy a day off. And I get all of it. Gardner is not really old. He's one of the younger Yankees. And how did Cal Ripken Jr. play every game for about 45 straight years?
I don't know. My son was asking me the same thing the other day. And when these records, when you get away from them for a while, sometimes they really sink in and what happened. But there were times where, you know, Cal Ripken could play because they weren't in a pennant race and things like that. But it is an amazing stat.
And also, this is what you're missing. Last 4 games, he's a .333 hitter.
I think you got to remember Ripken was probably stronger than most guys in the league.
Yeah. You sound frustrated about this.
I don't understand when you know, Joe has come out and said they have to essentially play 700 balls, so you can't give games away, and you guys have to play every single game. I don't think that Gardner asked for a day off today.
I think when you look at the numbers, he's 1 for 5. This is the opportunity with a right-hander tomorrow, Jared Weaver, to give him a little time. It's not to say he won't play tonight, because if the Yankees have the lead, he's going to get in the game. He's going to be in there defensively.
Or they get a right-handed pitcher in. I mean, there are times, but I agree with you, Michael. As a player, you realize the importance of games. You come to the ballpark expecting to play. There's no doubt about it. You don't think about rest when you're fighting for your life, basically.
You can rest in November, in December, in January, in February. They're geared up again.
So Soriano goes down on strikes on the chains, 2 away.
Now, Vargas hasn't had good numbers here at Yankee Stadium. We told you he's 0-3 in his career, but here at Yankee Stadium is even worse. His ERA is over 9 in this ballpark in 3 starts, so he hasn't fared well at Yankee Stadium. Doesn't have good memories here.
A good change up to Soriano, and Soriano's getting deep in counts where, you know, he's more, you know, he's a fastball hitter. There's no doubt about it. And when you get deep into the count with 2 strikes, you're going to see a lot of off speed, a lot of change ups.
Here's Cano. And a strike to the Yankees second baseman. And one more thing about the rest. Robinson Cano plays every day. Robinson Cano doesn't get days off. Every day, Robinson Cano's in that lineup. If he can play second base every day, then the younger guys should be able to play every day.
Lefty, that's the toughest pitch for me. I remember looking back, is that left-hander that could run that ball in on your hands. Kenny, you don't have to worry about this. You just change your helmet and go to the other side.
Yeah, I'm over here. Yeah, I'm standing right over here.
Yeah, well, that ball that runs in on the lefty, you pick it up late. He does a good job of just You know, hitters do a good job of keeping some balls fair and driving them out of the ballpark. You see career off Vargas. I mean, he's done very well. And he actually got to that ball, and you're better off pulling it foul because it's all on your hands.
The 0-2.
You got Vargas on the mound tonight. You're going to see Jared Weaver tomorrow. Now, a few years back in Long Beach State, that's what their opponents were seeing. Maybe vice versa. You had Weaver and then Vargas. They both went to Long Beach State. They were teammates on the same pitching staff. So they've been watching each other for years. Of course, Vargas started out at LSU. Then he went to Cypress College to become eligible for the draft. Didn't like his draft position. Went to Long Beach State. Then that's where he hooked up with Weaver.
Grounded foul.
They must have had pretty good righty-lefty punch there.
Long Beach State. You kidding me with that? Huh?
Jason Jobby went there.
Wow. Some schools just sound like that'd be a good place to be on a Friday afternoon at the beach, right?
Ground ball, foul. Cano ran down the first baseline. He thinks that was fair. Now heads back toward home plate. Was very, very close to going over the bag, but Larry Vanover said no.
In fact, Long Beach State over the years had a pretty good baseball program. Troy Tulowitzki, Evan Longoria.
Wow. Big names.
Good recruiting.
Missed outside, count 3-2 on Cano.
Tough pitch right there. Robbie does a good job of just putting the bat on it. I mean, he's been thrown in a lot in this count, and then all of a sudden kind of a crossfire fastball on the outside corner.
This is Vargas's first year with the Angels. Came over in the trade for Kendrys Morales. Seattle's looking for some power. Got a first baseman, switch hitter. And the Angels got themselves a left-handed pitcher.
Broken bat, Looper into center field for a base hit. So Cano lost 2 bats in that at bat, but picked up a hit.
That last one died a hero, though, didn't it?
2 bats for 1 hit.
I tell you what, this doesn't look like much on the thing. A jam shot, broken bat, but I tell you, he didn't have much to hit in this at bat. He fouled off a couple good pitches, and he stayed through this ball. Got jammed. Ended up on first base. Good at bat. I think we're on the cheering side tonight with Alex Rodriguez, Michael.
At bat to at bat ball.
Pitch to pitch.
Ground ball to ground ball. There's a strike.
Checking with home plate umpire David Rackley to see if that's a strike. Yeah, he called it.
Yeah, usually when you look back there and you kind of have that half check swing, you look back and is that pitch called a strike or did I swing?
Line drive right at Ibar, and that will do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Played 1, it's 2-0 Angels. Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Time Warner Cable. Get a full season of live Yankee games on the go for just $29.99. If you're a Time Warner Cable customer, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. Very smart way to go to a ballpark. You're protected. Any foul balls, you're going to be all right.
You know, that might be a witness protection thing.
Look how big his hands are and how little his mask is. Huh?
If he gets hit with a foul ball, a home run there, he's got plenty of time to react. As Paul would say, that's north of State Farmville.
Way up on top of the mountain.
Ibar takes the ball 1-0.
Ibar's an excellent bunter. Nix is going to have to be on his game at third.
And there's a ground ball to Nunez. And there's one away.
If you saw that guy on the subway, you know, you would think, you know, you see some people and, you know, they're all dressed up. Maybe they got a tux on or something. You know, you just wonder, you know, where are these guys going? You see that guy, you know where he's going.
I just want to know the guys on the subway in tuxes.
Well,
you've seen that?
Yeah, they could. Their limo didn't show up, so they dropped on the subway. He got a text. He was on TV, so he took his mask off for a little FaceTime. You don't see those guys in tuxes?
Not on the subway.
No.
They don't have a drop off at Broadway or anything.
Chris Iannetta at the plate. Now, he's hit well against the Yankees this year, all season long, but he's a very unusual hitter. He's got 54 hits this season. He's got 56 walks. He's walked more than he's had base hits. And his on-base percentage is up there because of it, even though he's hitting just .220. So he has a tendency to run deep counts, swings and strikes.
That just shows you, though, that pitchers, I mean, they don't look. I mean, here's a guy, granted, I mean, he's a catcher, but he's hitting .220. How can he have that many walks? How can you not just go after this guy every single time? You got the answer for me, Mike?
No. I don't have many answers today, Paul.
You're
a lot of questions.
I'm
flustered. The lineup started me off. I don't have much.
Yeah, he's not going Alex Trebek on you today.
I'm coming to I'm going to my left. Michael's not helping me on my right. You ready, Kenny?
Yeah, no.
Audrey, anybody can help around here?
And also, I found out today that I gave you bad information yesterday. You put me on the spot. You asked me a question. Then I find out that I was wrong what I gave you.
All right.
You said who was more popular in Japan, Matsui or Ichiro? And I said Matsui is like Jordan there. But I found out from the guys in the Japanese media, no. Ichiro is much more popular. I never, ever knew that.
Ichiro's LeBron.
See that? He's a current, yeah.
They said that when you would look at all-star voting, when they both played, Ichiro would get way more votes than Matsui did from Japan. And Matsui played for a bigger team, the Giants, and Ichiro played for the Blue Waves. So obviously they know, and I gave you bad info, Paul, so I apologize.
Could it have anything to do with the time and the games came on TV?
You know, that's a good point, Kenny. Because Seattle games are more... No. Because the games here would be in the morning.
Yeah.
So the Seattle games
would be in the afternoon because they're 3 hours after.
Be about lunchtime.
Yeah.
Here's Tommy Field. And there's a strike. Because when we were there, Kenny, we saw Matsui. His face was on airplanes.
Oh, yeah. Goodness.
So,
I saw pictures of that.
Ichiro's face has to be on spaceships then. To be bigger.
The rockets. How'd you do over there, Michael? You don't eat anything. How in the world did you go over there?
See? I had it solved.
Did you pack a lunch?
Mickey D's. They got chicken McNuggets in Japan.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
If I remember correctly, it's right down the street from the hotel.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, they recognized me by day 8.
Well, there's full service restaurants too. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. we were talking yesterday, and you talked to Pete Rose, and he didn't discredit the league, but didn't think the pitching was good. And I hope I get an opportunity to talk to Ichiro and see what he thinks about that.
Tommy Field goes down on strikes. We go to the bottom of the second. Coming up, Meredith Marakovitz has the latest on the captain. Is he close to returning? She'll know. By Montefiore Medical Center Inspired Medicine. So he's played limited games this year, just 5 with the Yankees, 4 for 19, a home run, 2 ribbies. He's on the 15-day DL with a strained right calf, but today he seemed more active on the field. So let's bring in Meredith. Meredith, when is Derek getting back? Tell me the exact date and time.
I wish I could tell you the exact date and time right now, but Michael, that is still to be determined. He's eligible to come off the DL Sunday against the Red Sox. However, the Yankees not committing to that just yet, and Derek Jeter saying, look, I'll be ready when I'm ready. You'll see me when I show up there and I'm on the active roster to play. But he did make some significant progress today. Yesterday, he was in the cage doing some tee and toss work.
That one is driven to right field off the bat of Wells. See ya! A home run, Vernon Wells. So he gets back one of those 2 runs, and it's 2-1 Angels. He makes up for that misplay.
Tried to. I believe it was on his mind. Got him back in the game quick, too. Rudely interrupted Meredith, though, in her report, though.
What nerve.
Again, ball away. Good piece of hitting. Vernon Wells just gets it on the barrel, gets it out of here. First throw, that's plenty. Calgary gives it an effort, but just out of his reach.
First home run since May the 15th.
And Granderson with a base hit.
Meredith, why don't you just come back next inning? We'll give you a little more time, all right?
Either that or I'm going to have to step on Michael's toes and start doing some play-by-play.
Go for it. First home run since May 15th. So what's the next step for Derek, Meredith?
Well, he was on the field taking BP today, also fielded some grounders. Not a ton of lateral movement. Did go a little bit left to right. He'll do that again tomorrow. Then come Thursday when the team leaves for Boston, he'll head down to Tampa and continue the baseball activity. Has not run yet. That's the biggest step for him, seeing whether or not he can explode out of that batter's box. So he believes in the coming days he'll make some more progress and he'll eventually begin running, but he doesn't have a date on exactly when that will happen. And considering the fact that they're planning on sending him to Tampa on Thursday, kind of leads you to believe you're not going to see him come Sunday.
And just listening to Derek talk about the injuries, Meredith, I'm not saying his spirit has been broken, but he knows that every time he pushes it, something happens. So I don't think he's going to try to push it this time.
And he was asked that question in the clubhouse earlier today. Look, are you making a case for yourself right now? Are you saying I want to be there on Sunday? And he kind of commented, look, I always want to be there. I always think I'm ready to play. But look, I don't hold a lot of weight anymore based on what's happened this season. The Yankees aren't listening to me anymore. This is their call. When they feel like I'm ready, that's when I'm going to be back out there on the field.
Does he feel anything in the area anymore?
He hasn't felt anything in that area for a couple days, if not a week now. It was after he woke up after that Tampa game that he originally felt something, but since then, the last couple days, he hasn't felt anything at all. So he feels as though he's ready to make the next step, but again, kind of going with what the Yankees say. Let's
see if they turn two here. There's one, and Nix beats out the return throw. Meredith, we will hear from you later.
Sounds good, Michael.
Thank you.
Off the bat, Nelson plays it off to the side. A quick throw to field at second. He turns it over, but Jason Nix, you can see he beats the relay fairly easily. And the Angels only get one out on the play. Very definitive.
Slow motion even makes it look better.
You know, Kenny, that stat you gave, I mean, if you really just sit back and think, it's almost inconceivable that Vernon Wells has not hit a home run in 3 months. You think you'd run into one by accident. So he got off to a great start for the Yankees. 10 home runs by May 15th, and then the power just shut off. Yankees baseball is available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your remote. SAP is brought to you by Infinity. They got him picked off. And Nix is tagged out, so you score that 1-3-6, caught stealing.
Tell Vargas he has a good move, and sometimes you just got to cheat. I tell you what, sometimes as a runner, it's kind of weird when the guy's not, Trumbo's not holding you on. Just feel like he's probably not coming to first, and the next thing you know, he is.
Nix wasn't messing around going in there. He's trying to knock the ball out of Ibar's glove. By the way, it's the first time he's caught stealing all year. Trumbo steps to the inside and almost clipped him. And sometimes for the fielder who's trying to receive the ball, he loses sight of it.
Comes right out of that jersey. Next thing you know, there it is.
So Nix now 11-1 in stolen base attempts.
Notice Granderson, when he was on first base, went back to the base a couple of times when Vargas went home. So very deceptive as a base runner. He's got a good move, like Andy Pettit. Guys are always getting back to first. Uh-oh. Ball boy just didn't have the wheels to pull that one in.
And Meredith asked Curtis the other night, it was last night that he was on, and post game there, and he had hit the home run, and she asked him if he was starting to feel comfortable. He's 3 for his last 3.
That one's driven out to left field. Shuck on the run, dives, he can't make the play. It's a fair ball. But Overbay's going to stop at second with a double.
I'll tell you, Kenny, there's one place on this field that hurts when you dive, and that's that warning track, because it's dry and it's hard. It's not watered down like the infield. Good effort out there, and your body, it's all scraped up going into that.
It's bad memories.
Also, he's leading with his head into the wall.
They're padded nowadays, so this is real time, folks. Boom.
And also, Paul and Kenny, no, it's padded, but behind the pad is concrete.
Yeah, it's padded, but a couple
like
inches
a pillow.
padded. No,
Yeah.
depends how much, how hard you are going into the wall.
Austin Romine fouls it back.
We saw it last night with the big, 2-out hits with Brett Gardner gave him a lead last night. Every single run now, when you come down offensively for the Yankees, when you have opportunities, you've got to try to cash in. A base hit right here, new lease on life for CC Sabathia.
Romine's been swinging the bat much better. 11 for his last 31. That works out to 355. Early in the season, it's tough for him to buy a hit.
So that last swing, it was almost like he waited, looking to see what the pitch was. Still kind of got to the fastball, but better quick swing, good 2-strike swing.
Two and two.
Vargas does a pretty good job of hiding the ball, particularly out of the, more so out of the windup. He really turns his back on here. You'll see his number.
He really hides it, and he also kind of crossfires, which, he gives you an angle for a lefty. Kind of hard to pick up.
Swing and a miss on the change. Romine down on strikes. But it had been 208 at-bats between home runs before Vernon Wells connected for home run number 11 on the season. The Yankees' first run, and it's 2-1 Angels. Official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. And we asked, should Mike Trout be in this year's American League MVP discussion with Miguel Cabrera and Chris Davis? Why or why not? Funny Mike D. Sure, Trout should be considered. However, Davis deserves to be MVP. If you take him away from the O's, there's no way they contend. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. Here's some help for the conversation. I wonder if you took Cabrera away from the Tigers. Chris Davis has had a phenomenal year. Cabrera's might be better. And Mike Trout is certainly in the conversation.
He is, but the Angels are how many games behind?
Enough.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though. We have seen guys with last place teams win the MVP.
Yeah, we have.
Cal Ripken Jr. and Andre Dawson, so it happens. Alex Rodriguez won an MVP with a last place Rangers team.
You know what? You go in the old days, 1-year contract, and you won the MVP on a losing team, and you finish last. General manager's going to tell you, hey, we could have finished last without you.
Sure looks good on the back of that baseball.
Yeah, it does.
Next year, though, doesn't
it? Yeah, it does.
I think that was what was actually said to Ralph Kiner one year. He was on a last place Pirates team.
Yeah.
Hit a lot of home runs and came in and asked for raises. And you know what? We would have finished last even without you.
That was before multi-year deals.
3-2. And CC walked Shuck.
3-2 slider, and he went to it and he hung it. Didn't get back in the strike zone. Tell Kenny that CC, he'll battle for you, last outing over 7 innings, but he just is not as sharp as he was early in the year, late last year.
And Nix can make the play, so it's a base hit for Cowgill.
I think Nix had more time. He could have gone to the glove and thrown out Cowgill at first. Instead, he's going to try and make the bare hand play. In fact, I'm pretty sure that he had more time than he thought.
Ball was bunted pretty hard, and a lot of times I think you have your mind made up on what you're going to do right there, and you don't realize how quick that ball got to you. Much tougher play, obviously, to bare hand that ball.
Trout walked in the first inning. Came around to score on Trumbo's homer. There's a strike. Let's take a look at the league leaders presented by Honda. And this is the American League batting leaders. Cabrera has a 36-point lead over the second place hitter Mike Trout. Then it's Ortiz, Beltre, and Mauer. Speaking of Mauer, his teammate Justin Morneau put on waivers. And so was Paul Konerko. A lot of Yankee fans right away asked, well, would the Yankees pick up Morneau? And although Morneau has been an MVP, hasn't had a great year this year, there's not much difference between Morneau and Overbay. Now, if you want to bring one of those two guys in, it would almost be Konerko, because then you'd have somebody platoon with Overbay. Not sure they do either, but I don't know how much of an upgrade it'd be over a guy who's done a great job for you.
Konerko's been with the White Sox for a long, long time. I think he's hit over 300 home runs with them.
Yeah. Again, I think that the waivers thing is kind of misleading, because a lot of people go through waivers, you don't even know about it, and the team has the right to pull them back off. They just try to slip them through.
What they're doing is gauging interest, and it might not even be for this year. It might be for next year. If a team claims them, they pull them off. And then they try and work out a deal either over the winter or whenever, you like the player last August. Why don't you like him now? It's December.
Well, in the case of Morneau, this is the last year of his contract. So this could be more than just testing the waters. Maybe they could get something back for a guy that they don't intend to re-sign.
I believe that everybody on the major leagues has been on the waivers at one time or another, especially the guys getting a little older.
That's a big strikeout of Trout as he clips the inside corner. Trout doesn't like the call.
You're right. Big pitch. I mean, you've just got a couple guys on, and you got the meat of the order coming up. Run that ball right in on the inside corner.
And the reason why he's able to sneak it over the inside corner because all the other pitches have been away. And I think Trout was looking out there, and CC saw the swing on one of the pitches, and now I got to move it.
Every once in a while, when you make a pitch, you get a break, and it looked like CC got a little bit of a break there. Ball in off the plate.
6 strikeouts now. 95.
CC, you know, good pitchers keep their best stuff for big situations, and obviously this is a big situation. A couple men on, and the meat of the order coming up.
It's one of the best fastballs we've seen in a while from him.
Look at the numbers he has against the Yankees in 22 games. Grabbed there by Overbay. He flips to Nunez. There's nobody there at first base to get the throw. And they're saying he is safe at second as well, as Nunez was a little late getting there. Now Girardi is going to go out and argue, but the bases are loaded with Angels.
I tell you, this is a big play because you've got to get outs in these situations. Probably missed the base.
Well, I knew the throw was there in plenty of time. Yeah, it looks like he did miss the base. And that is Tony Randazzo, the second base umpire.
The old neighborhood tag didn't work there, did it, Ken?
That was so close. I would think that has to be scored a fielder's choice.
Again, I mean, CC Sabathia has been put in some tough situations. I mean, right now you've got 2 outs. You can make a good pitch and get out. Now you're still in a big scoring opportunity for the Angels.
All right, so that scored a fielder's choice and an E6. So they give him an E for missing the bag and allowing the runner to reach. Count 1-0 on Nelson. Well, so far tonight, CC's defense has not been kind to him. The misplay by Wells and Nunez just missing the bag.
These extra outs and these stressful pitches, the pitch count continues to go up. These things all mean something. It comes down to what your starting pitcher can give you that night.
There's a strike.
Again, you're 3-1. You've got bases loaded. You just got to make your pitch. You've got to throw a strike. If he hits the ball hard, you got to hope that he hits it at somebody. Try to keep it on the ground.
Bring him 2.
You're in the same situation. That old saying, you can't give in as a pitcher. Well, in this situation, you have to give in. You have to throw a good strike.
Two-1 Angels lead. Threatening here. Top of the third. Bases loaded. 1 out.
Frustrating as a pitcher. You fight all the way back in. You know, your pitch count is starting to add up, and you fight all the way back, and then the hitter starts fouling balls off, and he makes it a longer count.
Missed outside. That forces in a run. It's 3-1 Angels. A bases loaded walk to Nelson. Still just 1 out.
Yeah, this is a pretty close pitch. Looks like it went around the corner a little bit.
It's kind of ironic that last night Nelson chased the pitch that was out of strike zone and ended the games. This time he eyeballs one and gets the bases loaded walk.
Let's take a look at the hitter scouting report presented by Dodge on Josh Hamilton.
Not your average. I mean, he's a career .293 hitter. Came into this game hitting .223 and left out. I mean, this has been the problem. He's had a lot of trouble against lefties this year, hitting .171 with 4 home runs. And big investment. Everybody knows about the contracts, and the Angels are just going to have to figure out in the offseason how to get him going to strength, get Pujols going if the Angels can contend in the future. $125 million contract. Everybody wants to hear the numbers, but Josh Hamilton's a star hitter in this league. He just has not done that so far this year.
Michael, you said it's a strange game. The Angels have 3 runs on 2 hits. The Yankees have 2 errors. And another play that didn't go as an error that turned out to be a big play.
0-2.
See that front foot with Josh Hamilton, that usually can tell you how you're staying in against lefties, and to see his balance. He's such a rhythm hitter. There's a lot of movement, and when that front foot starts to creep open a little bit, it takes that hip and that shoulder with it and open up a little bit too quick against the lefties.
A lot of swings and misses when it comes to Hamilton. Big second out.
Again, you see this left foot, and you see it's going this way, and that's going to take your weight off and your balance. And again, he's such a strong hitter when he's in there, but you see him kind of wave at that because all of his weight going the other way.
So you see 3 strikeouts in the first inning, 2 in the second, and 2 more here in the third. 7 punch-outs in 2 2/3 innings.
Well, a huge hitter right here. Again, you can get out of this inning without just giving up with giving up just 1 run. Base hit blows this game wide open. And with the Yankees offense, obviously they're not scoring the runs they have in the past. As a pitcher, you realize that, you need to get this out.
Ibar more of a contact hitter.
No, he's not going to help him out.
No, he's not, because Ibar, we've seen him lead off for a number of years for the Angels, so that means he has leadoff hitter skills, which means he's supposed to have a decent eye at the plate.
Dribbled slowly. Third base out of the mound. What a play by Sabathia. Usually not great with the glove, but he really fielded that beautifully on the third base side to get Ibar for the final out. They get 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. The bases are left loaded. We go to the bottom of the third. By Dodge. Take advantage of great summertime deals at the Dodge Summer Clearance event going on now. By Heineken, open your world, enjoy responsibly. And by your Tri-Honda dealers, hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 models. Well, we go to the bottom of the third inning. Looks like we have a new player on the field.
Grant Green is playing second base now, and it appears that Tommy Field moves to short. And Ibar, remember the slide by Nix into second base? And as I mentioned, he went in there very hard, and he's trying to make the tag. And I have the feeling that he jammed his wrist.
Well, it's 3-1 Angels, and it'll be the top of the Yankee order. Nunez, Soriano, and Cano on the Lincoln scoreboard.
Look at that scoreboard, and if the Yankees can turn this around and win this game, you're going to look back at the top of the third inning and realize CC Sabathia turned this game around by only giving up 1 run in that inning.
He's going to have some low pitch innings coming up here to get deeper into this game. Maybe 9 or 10 to keep.
Michael, I got a question for you. You gave a little Ralph Kiner story earlier in the game. You know, he finished in last place. We've done that even without you. Remember who the GM was that told him that?
Was it Branch Rickey?
Branch Rickey. Pulled that out of nowhere. Pretty impressive, though.
Branch left the Dodgers to run the Pirates. Fly ball shallow center. And Field makes the play.
I'll tell you what, if you're Field right there and you've got that in-betweener and you've got Trout barreling down on you from behind, you got to kind of hold your breath. And you see at the end of this play, you see Trout kind of gives up. Thank goodness. Once he gets it going, he's got a lot coming at you.
Yeah, you know who to come in second place in that collision.
Vargas goes to that changeup. The Yankees, you see Vargas throwing the ball really well, but you got to realize that you're going to be in that bullpen. He's the first start back, probably on a 60, 70, 75 pitch, maybe limit.
Adding or subtracting first and then adding. 87 on that one. That was his fastball. Vargas's best year, as you look at Soriano's numbers, are overall with the Cubs and the Yankees, 20 home runs again. Best year with Seattle was 2012. He went 14-11 that year. After Zach Greinke left to go to the Dodgers, the Angels needed somebody in their rotations. So they had with Trumbo and Morales at first base, although Morales was serving more as a DH, they had a player they could trade, and they got Vargas from Seattle. Well, this is a guessing game with him. Changeup, fastball looks faster, slow breaking ball right there. Changing speeds on Soriano.
But you notice a lot of the fastballs are up and out of the zone, kind of just to show you. So you almost have to look off speed and hit the off speed pitches, because those are basically your strikes.
Let's check out if we can see how Ibar got hurt. There's a tag on Nix, and the glove and the knee and the bag came together. I don't know if it was that. Remember, Ibar did hit against Sabathia to end that third inning. And on the run to first base, he seemed fine. So I don't know if it was his knee or his glove. We'll find out as soon as we can.
It looked like when he was walking off the field, they were more concerned with his hand.
Cano grounds it to Trumbo, and that will do it. So a 1-2-3 inning for Jason Vargas. The Yankees go down in order, and we go to the fourth.
Quiz, call 1-866-NY-QUITS for free help today. On May 11th, 1990, the Yankees traded Dave Winfield to the Angels for what player? We'll have the answer for you in the bottom half of the inning.
You're going to give me the answer because I don't know this one. I was playing in 90.
Well, you should know.
I know. I can't figure this out, though. I'm stumped.
Oh, this one's easy.
Oh, whatever.
I'm telling you, it's easy. You'll see. We can't beat yourself up. You aren't on that team.
Exactly. Is this easy for you, Ken?
Not this one.
Yeah. If you both have your wits about you, it'd be easy.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, sometimes we're all witless.
That's a fly ball right. Iannetta is out. So one down. That'll bring up Tommy Field.
Well, Kenny, you said it. CeCe needs a couple quick innings.
Yeah. Outs early and counts. And when you get to the bottom of the order, you got to go through these guys like a hot knife through butter. Just get them out of there, get back in the dugout.
Now, O'Neill, you would have been much rather have been Tommy Batten than Tommy Field, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you use field time to work on your batting, you know?
We saw. What a great baseball player name. Now, I know that players do things that help pitchers out. And then what Wells didn't help Sabathia out. I'm just curious, totally from an ignorant point of view. You do something like that, guys.
Sometimes you're all witless.
Do you go into the dugout and go over him and say, listen, that's my bad, I'm sorry?
Sure. I think when we saw the end of that replay, he looked in and said, my bad, I didn't catch the ball. It's got to be caught, obviously. But, you know, even major league players make mistakes. It wasn't caught. And it did cost him a couple runs, but he did the best next thing, went up, hit a home run the next time up.
How about you, Ken?
Yeah, I've done it, and I've gone to apologize to the pitcher. But I will say this, some pitchers are more apt to accept your apology than others.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also, some go, I don't want to hear it?
Well, they wouldn't say that, but, you know, and I've had other pitchers say to you, that's all right, just score me some runs.
Ground ball to Nix. Nice backhanded stop across the diamond to get field for the second out.
I think there's one famous play years ago when Gaylord Perry wasn't so forgiving. He was a Hall of Fame pitcher, and I think it was Leon Daddy Wags Wagner's with the Giants. It was a ball hit like a rocket out to right center, and he got to it, and it came off his glove, and it fell in for a double. And when he came back to the dugout, Gaylord said, "Why'd you catch that ball?" He said, "What's the ball doing 385 feet away from home plate?"
Here's J.B. Shuck. And a strike.
I've said it many times, and Michael, you've heard it. I mean, we watch these games on TV. We watch them on the monitors. Even from a distance, up in the stands, you don't realize how fast things happen out there, how much the baseball curves, how many times that things happen that you're not, it goes in the lights, it goes in the stands. And I'm not making excuses, because guys catch that ball 99% of the time, but you make mistakes because things happen so quick out there that you just react, and sometimes you just don't make the play.
And the game has a tendency to look easy because the players are very good at it. And when they make mistakes, they're glaring mistakes.
Right.
The 0-2.
But you ever have a pitcher say, "It's my bad for giving up 5 runs last day"? No, I haven't heard that one.
Usually they're screaming in the tunnel, and it's not an apology.
Yeah.
We get word on Ibar he left the game with left calf cramping.
Wow.
So it had nothing to do with the play at second. The 0-2. Still 0-2. Fly ball left field. Soriano puts it away for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Angels 3, Yankees 1 on yes. May 11, 1990, the Yankees traded Dave Winfield to the Angels for what player? And you'll see that I actually gave a clue when I told you what I said.
You know what? I'm going to throw out Mike Witt.
Yes,
right?
there you go. If you had your wits
like
about
that.
you. I'll tell you what, Mike Witt always had like a reputation as kind of a prickly guy. He was a real cool guy. He was really nice to interview, and he was not bad at all.
And so after he was traded to the Yankees, the Angels were winless.
Yep. A-Rod fouls it back.
Didn't he throw a perfect game? But certainly a no-hitter for them.
No, perfect game.
It was the last day of the season.
Yeah.
In Texas.
Nice way to go into the offseason of 1984. They did it against the Rangers.
Mike, you know, I was just walking back in here, and it just came to my mind because I remember him being with Anaheim, and I remember him being here right when I got here in '93. He was still with the Yankees.
High fly ball. Center field. Trout for the first out. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you by GMC. Introducing the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. Visit GMC.com for details.
That was a just missed.
That ball was just high enough in the strike zone that he got under it just a little bit.
There's Vernon Wells.
See, this is a home run, and that ball right around that line, just high enough where he didn't square it up on the barrel.
Driven into right center field. It's a base hit. Cut off by Trout. And Vernon Wells is 2 for 2, a home run in that single.
I'll tell you something, Paul. I'll tell you something, Michael. Years ago, there was a fly ball just like that A-Rod hit. Eddie Murray hit it. He was really ticked when he came back to the dugout. He sat down next to me and he said, "I'm hitting one out the next time up." And sure enough, he hit a home run.
Say you weren't telling this story, but if he would have struck out.
Well,
right?
no, I probably would have. But the thing is that's the only guy in all my years in the big league sat down. He was ticked off and said, "Next time up, I'm hitting one." And he did it.
It's funny you say that story, and I remember just being called up to Cincinnati Reds, and Dave Parker did the same thing with Wrigley Field. And it was late in the game. Next time I'm hitting, and Lee Smith was the closer then. He hit a ball so far, and I'm just thinking to myself, my God, these guys can just, they know they're hitting them. They're really good.
Speaking of hitting home runs in a short period of time, Curtis Granderson, his last 16 games against the Angels, hit 11 home runs against them.
Get comfortable with certain teams, I guess. He likes the color red or something.
Wow. Hammered down the right field line. It's a base hit. It's going to go into the corner. Vernon Wells motoring to third, and Robbie Thompson holds him up. Granderson stops at second with a double.
I guess he's getting more comfortable at the plate. He's 4 for his last 4. 2 singles, a double, and a home run.
It's basically that same pitch that A-Rod just got under. You see, he stays on top of it. He hammers that topspin line drive out to right field. Again, you have these opportunities, the Yankees. You know that every single game is important at this point. You've got to get these runs in. You can't go ahead until you score the runs to tie out. So
Let the infield back. They'll give up a run on a ground ball, and they get a ground ball. Vernon Wells scores. Nix is out at first to pick up the RBI, and the Angel lead is now 3-2.
That was a nice play by Field in the hole. He showed good range and a very strong throwing arm.
And we saw earlier in the game, Nix beat out a double play, so he gets down the line pretty well. And you're right, Kenny. Strong throw, got him easily.
Runner at second. That's the tying run. Here is Overbay. Angels 3, Yankees 2. There's a ground ball to second. Green gets Overbay, and that will do it. But the Yankees creep back. 1 run on 2 hits, and 1 man left. We go to the 5th. Angels 3, Yankees 2.
let's check out the McDonald's upcoming schedule. And as you can see, 2 more games against the Angels. Then the Yankees go on the road.
Big weekends coming up for the New York Yankees. I would think at the end of those, you're going to know if this team is going to fight back in this thing. If they can start looking to next year. I mean, those were important series, obviously.
You're starting to get into divisional play. That's the deal.
A couple of generations of Yankee fans right there. As we go to the 5th inning.
Just got this. I just want to let you know, Michael, I want you to read this, that I'm not making these stories up. You see that?
Let's see. Dave Parker off Smith at Wrigley, September 7, 1985, a grand slam. And that was 4 days after your major league debut.
See that?
And 4 minutes after he told Paul O'Neill that he was going to do it.
Ground ball to Nix. Plays it to the glove side, and he gets Cowgill for the first out.
Well, he mentioned CC needed some quick innings. He had one last inning, a 1-2-3. And he can certainly use another one this inning to keep that pitch count kind of manageable. You can see the 3rd inning was the inning, and the 1st inning of the 2 that really jacked up his count.
One of the strong points of the really good teams out with the Angels and Mike Scioscia was the back end of their bullpen. And this year they haven't held leads. Their bullpen hasn't been nearly as good as it has been in the past. So, you know, CC Sabathia keeps this team in there. I'm saying Vargas, his first game back, not going to be too deep into this game.
In fact, they've lost the most games in the major
league.
Any place.
I don't know about
Could
that
be in
one.
a garbage dump.
Yeah. Wow. I got to think about that. I don't know if I'm on board with that 5-second rule here. And one thing, CC Sabathia is on board with that. Big home run gives him the lead now.
He tried to sneak a fastball by Soriano, and after all those changeups, he couldn't do it. Either that or you got a changeup in the wrong spot.
Two. And Cano comes all the way back to work out a walk. Let's take a look at Soriano's swing on Yesview.
See, he'll load on his backside, and all of a sudden, everything whips through. The ball's going to get hit hard. Soriano knew it immediately also. Again, Mike Scioscia's not going to mess around much with a guy just coming off the disabled list. 77 pitches.
So he's going to bring in a right-hander to face A-Rod. Yankees have taken the lead on the 2-run home run by Soriano. Runner on first with 1 out, and Vargas departs. New York Yankees. Well, Mike Scioscia makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT NYA. And that call brings in J.C. Gutierrez. This will be his 37th game. Doesn't strike out that many. Probably walks a bit too many. And more hits than innings pitched. Yankees are down 2-0, 3-1. Now they lead 4-3 in the 5th.
And the Angels got Gutierrez from the Kansas City Royals. They claimed him on waivers.
A-Rod is 0 for 2. And there's a strike. He lined out too short in the first and then just missed one. A towering high fly ball to center field in the 4th. Right in on the hands, count 0-2.
And these are the counts that Alex Rodriguez, you can't help creep in that, I got to make contact here. I got to have a good bat. I don't want to hear the crowd boo. It's just, I don't care who you are. You know what's at stake every at bat when you walk to the plate.
Now, the Yankees themselves might remember Gutierrez because he did pitch against them this year when he was with the Royals. And he went 4 1/3 innings, allowed 1 run on 8 hits.
Cano leads off first, 1 man out. And A-Rod swings and misses. And the crowd boos him back to the dugout.
I believe he foul tipped it into the glove of Chris Iannetta. We'll get another look.
That was a slider there that kind of hung out over the plate. That was a strike. A lot of sliders you end up kind of pulling off, and it looks like that front hip came out a little bit. You're right, Michael. It's a bat to at bat. Huh?
It's amazing. So now Brett Gardner's day off ends, and he will pinch hit for Vernon Wells.
Vernon Wells, good at bats, home run, another hit.
Okay, now let me ask you this. You gave him the day off.
Half a day.
Is this a day off?
No.
I mean, does he feel rested because he missed 2 at-bats?
You knew he was going to get in the game. The Yankees had the lead. He's going to play. As soon as they got the lead, he's playing. And plus, with Wells being the right-handed hitter, and it appears that's the way Joe Girardi's going to go from this point on. Have Wells spot start against lefties. Maybe an occasional right-hander.
Ichiro's getting ready. Count 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0, great hitters count, but when you're just coming off the bench, Kenny, you're just, you're not quite into the game yet. You're almost in a mode where you're going to try to work this count, maybe get a walk for the next guy. Tough pitch there. That frustrates you as a hitter because that ball is off the plate and still running off the plate.
That's not a 2-0 pitcher going to swing at.
You watch this. I'm going to bet it's off the plate. A little bit. Closer than I thought, but still running away.
Now, you can't have any preconceived notion over this home plate on David Rackley. I don't think you ever had.
But you can usually tell if it's a strike or a ball, especially up here.
Paying a lot of attention to Cano, who really doesn't run much.
Shaking his head too. Sometimes as a runner, you even take a short lead because you're not trying to take anything in the pitcher. Go get the hitter. Let's get this thing going.
He'll be running now.
Just got a note from Meredith, who talked to him today. Gutierrez no longer wants to be called JC. He wants to be called Juan.
You know what? Then they better take it off of the score sheet, because that's the way it's on the score sheet, JC.
Well, that's in-depth reporting there,
And he just wants to be
cool
J.
stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
She knows when to get the C out.
Probably wants to be Jay-Z, to tell you the truth.
Jay-Z.
3-2. And he walks.
We talked about it. I mean, this has not been one of the strong points for the Angels, the bullpen. And now you're in a situation, a big hit to score a couple more runs.
That's why they went out and got one.
Michael, you ever get a text and all of a sudden you're like, man, I am glad I am here. I just got to text my wife and daughter. You know where they are tonight?
Where?
At Jones Beach at the Backstreet Boys.
You're a big Backstreet Boys fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not saying they don't have a couple good songs here or there, but the screaming and the yelling and the girls, I don't get it.
But they're enjoying themselves.
Well, they sent me a picture. They looked happy. So I sent one back smiling in the booth.
Mike Butcher goes out and talks with Juan Gutierrez. And Meredith comes clean on this. She said it was actually Yankees PR that informed her. They were informed by Angels PR. No more JC. Just Juan.
Well, they better change these score sheets that they hand out with the names on.
Yep. Here is Granderson.
Talked about it. Granderson, as of late, good swings, good at bats, big home run last night. Ball hard last time. I mean, these are the opportunities you want some of your big hitters to get in. Ooh, had a good pitch to hit there.
Good swing at it too. I don't think this pitch quite gets to the outside. Well, it was kind of tailing away. That's why he fouled it off.
See, that ball just went off the top of the barrel. Everything was perfect. Just did not make contact enough.
One and two.
Again, earlier in the game, and I mean, just watch, things are starting to go well. Everything's quick, compact, behind the baseball. The ball's up, too. Very easy to pop up, and he hammered it to right field.
Swing and a miss. Granderson down on strikes. But the big blow, a 2-run home run by Soriano. His 21st home run of the year. 11 of those 21 have given the Yankees the lead. And that 2-run home run did just that. On iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Yankees baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details. Brett Gardner takes over in center field, and Granderson moves from center to right.
You've always talked about it, Michael. Once you get that lead, huge inning for the pitcher to go out there and shut him down again. Talk about the importance of every game for the Yankees coming down the stretch here. And, you know, you look at this schedule, you would think the Anaheim, Los Angeles Angels, whatever you want to call them, it's going to be a tough 4-game series. But then you realize this is a team you should beat. This is a team that's not having a good year. Some of their better players on the disabled list. So you have to look at this series as an opportunity to really do some good things, because you're facing a team that's not used to winning, and they're just not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
And that's not what you want to do once you get the lead. Walk the leadoff batter. That's what you did with Chris Nelson, who's now 1 for 1 with 2 walks.
Just saw a shot of Howie Kendrick there, who's on the disabled list. And man, he's
like the Yankee killer too.
Oh my goodness, been known to wear out the Yankees.
There's Josh Hamilton, who has looked overmatched against CeCe his first 2 times up. Now Romine goes out and talks with Sabathia. You know, so many people thought the Angels were going to win the West. And obviously they're in bad shape. The only thing keeping them out of the last place is the Astros in the West. And what do they do with Mike Scioscia? Mike Scioscia signed a very unusual contract a couple of years ago, a 10-year extension to manage the Angels. Fly ball left field. Now Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels, said, I am not firing him in the middle of the season. I will tell you that. But I mean, what does that mean for the end of the season? It's an unusual contract. He signed through the 2018 season. Talk about job security. But he has the option of opting out of the contract at the end of the 2015 season. So we'll see if they keep him, if they blame him for the injuries. But he's one of the deans of Major League Managing. Here's Grant Green's first at bat, entered in the 3rd inning after Ibar got hurt.
Yeah, this is his 14th season with the Angels.
So he is the longest tenured in the majors. Gardenhire's next, and he's supposedly on shaky ground as well. Then Manuel, Madden, and Leland. Off the glove of Romine. That should be a pass ball as Nelson moves to second.
I believe it'll be scored that way. I don't know if it was a cross up. Like he just flat out missed it.
It is a pass ball.
And that effectively takes away the ground ball double play.
And puts the tying run in scoring position.
Yeah.
Now 3-0 to Green. There's the strike.
CeCe Sabathia, I mean, he's pitched in a lot of counts where he's been 3-1, 2-0. Dangerous way to pitch, but he's going to battle you again. There's ball 4. Now he's back in a jam again, looking for that ground ball to try to get out of this. Larry Rothschild's on his way out to try to figure it out.
It's 5 walks tonight.
5 walks and what, 7 or 8 strikeouts?
Yeah, been a lot of nothing going on up there.
7 strikeouts. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. I'll tell you what, the Yankees, they've won their share of games of late, 3 out of their last 4, but you can't have every game be a nail-biter, and you can't have your bullpen pitch high-leverage innings every single night. And CeCe, at 96 pitches, he's not long for this game, so you're probably going to have to get 9 outs out of your bullpen. Is Robertson available again? Logan pitched yesterday. I guess you'd go to Kelly. I guess Mo is available today. So it's tough to have to win games 2-1, 4-3 every single night.
Yeah, Robertson, I mean, you saw last night he got out of that jam, but he didn't have his best stuff. And, it was a good test for him. Got a save. He figured out how to do it. Went to a cutter and went to a fastball. And other things that he didn't have his 95-mile-an-hour fastball last night.
Iannetta checks his swing, according to Larry Vanover.
We'll take another look. What do you think?
You know what? I might have to. I'm always on the hitter's side, Kenny. I don't know.
2-0.
Is Coney still in the studio? If he is, he's yelling at me right now because I guarantee he thought it was a strike.
5 walks for Sabathia tonight. That's the season high. You have to go all the way back to his opening day start against the Boston Red Sox. On April the 1st, he walked 4 batters.
There's no one up in the Yankee bullpen. There's some stirring right now, but no one has thrown a pitch. And now it's 3-0. It's going to be Preston Claiborne. Turned him loose on 3-0, and he pops it up. Overbay can't get there.
Long run, tough play.
Checking to see where the fence is and can't quite make the play.
Again, infielders, just like an outfielder, you want to sprint to that wall if you can, if you have time, and then try to find the baseball.
Do they send the runners with 1 out? They do not. Another high pop-up. Overbay will run there again. And it falls untouched. Overbay, Cano, and Granderson.
Several plays tonight that should have been made and haven't been, and that would fall into that category. 3 Yankees with a chance to come up with a play. Yeah, Cano, remember, he's playing double play depth. He has a long way to go. He's closer to second base, and nobody really had a great shot to make the play. Maybe Overbay had the best one, but he's looking towards somebody else.
Well, they've given Iannetta 2 free swings now. We'll see what he does. He walked him. That's going to load the bases. 3 walks for Sabathia here in the 6th.
If you're CC, you just got to step back and realize, you're not getting any breaks tonight as far as your defense helping you. But you still got the lead. You've got out a big jam earlier in the game. You got an opportunity to still get out of this with a ground ball, make a couple good pitches.
Here's Tommy Field batting .071, and he bunts it in the air. Romine can't get there.
Looked like a safety squeeze. And the pop up, and Romine not exactly aware of where the ball is. They lost all chance.
(4-3) Yankees lead. Last time CC had 6 walks in a regular season game, April 22nd, 2010 at Oakland. But he also did it in Game 3 of the 2011 ALDS.
Well, if you've helped that good pitch, it's right here, Kenny. You got an opportunity to get a strikeout, not move or advance any of the runners.
.94 miles an hour.
Strikeout and a left-handed hitter on deck.
Line to left field. Soriano makes the catch. Tagging is Nelson. The throw up the first baseline. It's a sac fly for Field, and the game is tied at 4.
It looks like he went with an off-speed pitch, and he kind of just hung it.
And they just appealed at third base, and they say that Nelson left too soon. And here comes Mike Scioscia, and he is going to argue with the home plate umpire, David Rackley. Let's watch. So CC gets a much-needed double play, and Scioscia is hot. We'll come back. We'll take another look. But right now, the Yankees still hold on to a 4-3 lead. Double play, and here's why Scioscia's hot. You'll see the foot just as CC is going to cover home plate. It's still on the bag, and the ball is in the glove of Soriano, so it looks like Nelson did not leave too soon. Now there's another angle to look at this one. The third base ump's job is to look to see if the catch is made. How does the home plate umpire see the catch and also able to tell if Nelson left? And I think that's what Scioscia was arguing about.
Yeah, it's a long distance, and it almost looked like he started to run, but his foot was still on the bag. Trying to fool the home plate umpire. You know, we were talking about CC needed a break. Well, he got a break there. He got the double play and got out of that inning.
That is a major break. And you're right, because the home plate umpire, Rackley, was in the home plate area.
Behind home plate, yeah.
And they rotate the umpire, so the third base umpire, Brian Gorman, has to go out and look at the left fielder. And the way the ball was caught in left center, how do you see when the ball is caught if you're the home plate umpire and also have your left eye on third base? It's almost physically impossible to make that call.
Yeah, you would think that the second base umpire was coming over, would have a much better look at third base.
Line drive, a base hit for Knicks.
Well, I'll tell you what, that break, and if the Yankees can get something going here and put out a couple runs, man, big boost.
Might be interesting. Scioscia's gotten the word from his coaches that it wasn't a great call. So when Rackley walks out to the mound, you wonder if Scioscia's going to get thrown out. But he's going to lift this pitcher first, or maybe wait a while till the home plate umpire gets out there.
You know what? He hasn't made the call to the bullpen as of yet. The pitcher's still out there. Left-hander's warming up.
Yeah, we want a little confrontation here. I'm not leaving until you come out and make me leave.
Yeah, here he comes. He's got to break this meeting up.
This has the potential to get ugly because Scioscia has had an awful season with this team, and a call like that is only going to anger him. So Rackley takes a long way around to break it up. And Scioscia's acting like he doesn't even see him.
He stepped around the pile, too. Look at that. He walked around the pile.
No, he didn't say anything. Just wanted him to have to ask him what you're doing out there. So
he didn't say anything yet.
He calls for the left-hander with Overbay due up. We'll have cameras trailed on him, but we will step aside. We got the tape machines rolling. If anything goes down, Yankees lead 4-3. Is watching his reliever warm up, and we want to tell you about tomorrow's starting pitchers. There's a game tomorrow too. Brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet. That's powerful, and that's a powerful pitching matchup right there. ERA's under 3, 7-5 Weaver, 5-4 Nova. It all begins at 6 with the BP show on. Yes, 6:30 is the pregame, and 7:07 first pitch at the stadium. Weaver against Nova. So it's Nick Morande. This will be his 10th game. 7 walks in 5 1/3 innings. Overbay is 1 for 2. 1-1.
Again, you've got an opportunity here to throw a couple more runs up and really, really help this team. You look for, you're talking about the bullpen. You might be able to squeeze another inning out of CC.
This is the first time the Miranda has ever faced the New York Yankees. They called them up from Arkansas.
We talked about the walks in the innings pitch, Mike, when he comes right out of the bullpen 3-0, nothing close. Overbay, you got to think, I got to take a couple pitches here, make him throw a strike.
And he throws one right there. Looking down at Robbie Thompson, his third base coach, see if anything is on. He's sending the runner on 3-1. And now it's 3-2.
A good pitch to hit there. See, this ball gets a lot of the plate right down the middle. Sometimes to the lefty, you really got to just favor that left center gap against lefty, especially the guys that kind of drop down a little bit.
Just missed off the outside corner. Overbay walks.
That's it. 1 and done.
Let's see if Scioscia makes Rackley walk out again. Miranda, by the way, is from Lexington Catholic High School, and that is the high school that Yankee GM Brian Cashman graduated from. Oh, Scioscia's going to make Rackley work. He's not talking to anybody. This is all about making Rackley walk out there. Rackley goes around the mound to come up behind. Sending a little message. This could be fun. Anyway, they go to the bullpen to bring in the right-hander. First and second, nobody out for the Yanks. They're up by 1.
CMC presents Center Stage with Michael Kay. Then tomorrow night, former Yankee captain Willie Randolph sits down for an all-new episode. It's Center Stage tonight and tomorrow, only on Yes. We're getting the big timers on there.
Two classy guys. So here is Michael Kahn. This will be his 44th game. 3.16 ERA.
Good opponent's batting average, just 184. Angels looking for the bunt here. You see Trumbo in on the grass. Nelson a little bit closer than even with the bag at third.
And a nice bunt. Score at 3-4. The sack for Romine.
That's a beauty. Even when you don't have any hits, there's all kinds of ways in helping your team defensively. When you're called upon to lay down a bunt, you get it down. That's exactly what Romine does. Trumbo only had one play. Didn't even look towards third. Green covering at first. And watch everybody moving. The runners see the bunt is down, they advance. It's almost like the defense goes in one direction while the offense goes in the other.
A lot of stuff going on.
So the infield comes in for Nunez. Runners on second and third, one out. 95 miles an hour fouled away.
And Nunez is a guy that really needs to, kind of focus on that strike zone, stay through it a little bit longer, hit your line drives, don't try to do too much. That ball's up out of the strike zone. You start swinging at pitches like that before you know it, you're 0-2.
There are certain guys that are better at getting that runner in from third base than others less than 2 outs. Nunez has been pretty good. 70%, 7 out of 10. And those are the guys you don't panic while you're up there. Right. You're the pitcher's the one in trouble. You make him throw you a strike, something you can drive.
Last night, Granderson, when he tacked on that run, you saw at the end of the game how important a 2-run lead is to that 1-run lead. So really big at bat here to try to get that run in, add to this lead.
Grounded and grabbed there by the second baseman Green. A run will score, and he probably saved another one from keeping that going into the outfield. Nice play with the infield in. So Green records the second out, but Nunez picks up a ribby and the Yankees lead by 2.
And this counts. He got the runner in from third with less than 2 outs as Green took a look, but he saw that he didn't have that much time to make the play as Nick's got a decent jump off of third base. Great stop as Michael called it. It was a tough hop too. Had to bring the glove up in the air as he was laying out to make the play.
That's a pretty gutsy call by Joe Girardi too. And I mean, you've got a couple options with the infield in. You see the ball through, or you go on contact, and it looked like he called contact there. He got the Yankees an extra run. Knicks didn't have time to really read that ball, but by going on contact, he scores easily.
So Nunez picks up his 14th ribby. Yankees up 5-3. Yankees took the lead on Soriano's 2-run home run in the 5th inning. That gave them a 4-3 advantage.
seems so far long ago, Mark. That's when I learned about the 5-second rule. You taught me right then.
Yep.
I'm still not with it. I'm not on board.
I don't think you drop much food, though.
You got to catch it for it hits the ground.
You know, I was talking about getting a runner in from third, and I just happened to glance at Mike Trout getting a runner in from third. He's had 22 opportunities. He's delivered 18 times. Wow. 82%.
The other ones were probably line drives at somebody.
Yeah.
Do they let CC come out and pitch at least the start of the 7th inning? Kelly is ready in the bullpen.
Well, you've got Shuck leading off, a left-handed batter.
The only thing I look at, this has been a long inning. You know, pitching changes. Mike Scioscia's taking his time. A lot of times when a pitcher's been hot for 7 innings, kind of struggled, or 6 innings, you know, a long break sometimes is tough.
And plus the fact he's already walked 6 tonight, right. So maybe his control hasn't been the best.
Three-2. Line drive and a base hit to right field. Overbay scores. It's an RBI for Soriano. And the Yankees are up 6-3.
Well, big hits for the Yankees, but nothing new for Mike Scioscia and the Angels. I mean, the bullpen has just not been good this year. Good piece of hitting by Soriano. Ball up in the zone, and you stay through it, drive it to right center.
Soriano's first hit on this homestand had been a home run.
Been kind of consistent till then.
Yeah. Cano had a hit his first time up. That gives him an 8-game hitting streak. But as I mentioned last night, it's not been his hottest hitting streak. It hasn't been those 2 for 4s and 3 for 4s. It's been, you know, maybe a 1 for 3, 1 for 4 there.
You could tell in some of the at-bats, you know, I've only been here a couple of nights, just the frustration that, I mean, he's walking a lot. Guys are pitching around him, even with men on base. And he's going to have to learn to deal with this.
It's a vitamin hitting streak.
Yeah. 1
a day.
But then, you know, I did mention this last night. You begin to percolate, though. Then all of a sudden that second hit falls in, and then floodgates open. You go O'Neal on everybody. You know
that's one. Yeah, right. One thing that happens when you're throwing that one hit out there, you don't lose confidence. You feel like you're a couple good at bats away from really getting hot.
So Khan all over the place, count 3-0.
I think it's worth it turning him loose here.
I do too. I just don't know that you can really zero in on a pitch. He's been all over. Whoa.
Ooh.
That's a tough one to swing at right
there. So Mike Butcher comes out. It gives me time to clear something up. It was in the papers today, and it was reported yesterday that Shane Spencer had said something about performance-enhancing drugs, kind of implicated some of his former Yankee teammates, and we find out today that it was a hoax that was perpetrated on the radio station, and the person that was being interviewed as Shane Spencer was not Shane Spencer, and Shane is very, very angry and wanted to clear that up. So all the stuff that was attributed to Shane Spencer was in fact not Shane Spencer, because he said some things nasty about Mo and about Jeter. And I was talking to Wally Matthews, who went down and spoke to them asked them about it, and they couldn't believe that Spencer would say that. And then he finds out later that it was not Shane Spencer on the radio.
How could a station not verify that was not Shane Spencer?
I don't know. I don't know how it happened, but it was not Shane Spencer's comments. Here's A-Rod. That one is driven deep to left field. Going back is Shuck. He's going to play it on the base of the wall. Soriano scores. Here comes Cano. Here's the throw. He'll score. It's a 2-run double for A-Rod, and the Yankees lead 8-3.
Well, Michael, as you said, it goes from at-bat to at-bat. Last time up, he struck out.
The people are on their feet right now, and a good swing by him stays through it. Alex is so strong. If he puts the barrel on it with a good swing, he's able to drive that line drive off the wall. You know, and every big hit that he gets, home run, double, whatever, it's just going to, you know, he's going to gain confidence.
First double of the season. And you said it, Paul, the Angel bullpen has been nothing to write home about this year.
So the Yankees catch a break on the tag up from third, and they take advantage of it by blowing it open with 4 runs in the 6th.
I think you definitely take CC out now, right? After the break, as long as this inning has been, as much as he's battled tonight, he got one break. And that one break might have changed this game, and that's that double play at the end of the last inning. Look up at the scoreboard. This is like the old times, Michael. 11 hits, 8 runs. I'd like to get used to that if you're starting pitcher, huh?
Gardner with a high fly ball to shallow center. And the catch is made by Green, and that'll do it. But the Yankees score 4 runs. On 3 hits, they leave 1. We'll go to the 7th. In the top of the 6th, bases loaded, and a fly ball to the left fielder Soriano.
There's Nelson tagging at third, and it appears that Soriano catches the ball and his foot is still on the bag. As Paul said, he might have been leading, but he still looked like he had contact.
And then right after that, Romine throws to third for the double play, and that sets off Mike Scioscia. Wow. So they keep CC in to face the lefty Shuck, and he throws the first pitch strike. Cadillac scoreboard, 8-3 Yanks. CC trying to even his record up at 10-10.
Let's say, Paul, if he gets the win, it'll be 13 years with at least 10 wins.
Yeah, it's an amazing stat. It really is.
And a base hit by Shuck. That was a long inning on the bench for CC, and they keep him in to face Shuck. That's a little odd, because I mean, you could bring in Kelly, who gets everybody out, and not have CC have to warm up again for one batter, and he ends up giving a hit to Shuck. So Girardi really does adhere to the matchups, and that's what he did with CC, keeping in there for the extra batter. So CC gets a nice hand, and Girardi is going to go to the bullpen as the Yankees lead by 5.
Results will be revealed in the postgame show. So a new pitcher in the ball game for the Yankees. Sean Kelly in relief of CC Sabathia comes on with a man on and nobody out here in the 7th inning. The Yankees up by a score of 8-3 in the second game of the 4-game series. There are the numbers on Sean Kelly. He's had a pretty good year. 4-1, 3.48, 62 strikeouts in 44 innings. And opponents are hitting just over 200 against him.
Almost looks like a misprint. 62 strikeouts.
Got a great slider. Got a good fastball.
Calhoun is pinch hitting for Calgill.
We saw Calhoun here last night, and he took an 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. He'd been hitting over 300 since his recall up until last night. Angels minor league player of the month for July at Salt Lake City. Hit 382. That's a nice month.
.110 pitches for CC. Now, 2 runs are earned, 1 run unearned. But to be honest, those 2 runs aren't earned either. This should be a double play. And it is 1-6-3.
I'll tell you what, the important thing here, it's a double play if one thing happens, and that's if you get a good feed to the second base or to the shortstop. And Kelly did that. Hit him right in the numbers. Makes it an easy double play.
Kelly must have been a quarterback in high school because he led it perfectly, right?
Right.
Nunez caught that right in stride and delivered on the first. And the important thing is to race base runners when this guy's coming up.
And there's a strike to Trout.
21 runs batted in his last 16 games.
Fly ball right field, and Kelly comes on and does the job. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead the Angels 8-3, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps, and please direct your attention to the area behind home plate. And welcome two honored guests of the New York Yankees. United States Navy Petty Officer 3rd Class Cecilia Burgos, who served in Sicily, Italy, and in Operation Enduring Freedom. And United States Army Sergeant Sandra Rowland, who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. And now, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
$11 hits for the Yankees, despite the fact they made a couple of errors. The Angels 3 runs on just 3 hits. Soriano, big night so far, 2 for 4, home run, 3 runs batted in. He has scored twice. Vernon Wells, 2 for 2 while he was in there. The solo home run, he scored a couple of runs. And Alex Rodriguez with a 2-run double. And the Yankees heading to the bottom of the 7th inning, following the 7th inning stretch, leading by a score of 8-3. And the Angels have made yet another pitching change. And a new pitcher is Joe Blanton, who had been a starting pitcher. And look at those numbers this year. He's made 20 starts. He's 2-13 and 162 hits in 124 innings. He struck out 100, walked 28, but the opponent's hitting .310 against him. And Garrett Richards is the one who we saw in the opening game of the series who took his place in the rotation. So Joe Blanton now working out of the bullpen for the Angels, and since he's been in the bullpen, he's been very, very good.
Kind of got a wake-up call, I guess. He's been pitching in the National League a long time, and all of a sudden welcomed the American League.
First 3 outings out of the bullpen. He's retired 18 out of 19 batters.
That's pretty good.
Cadillac scoreboard. Yankees 8 and the Angels 3.
I'll tell you one thing, Granderson, big home run yesterday, couple good at bats today. A-Rod, big 2-run double. You get some names back in the lineup. Another base hit. You never know. You start putting together a run. You get through that thing with CC Sabathia. He gets the win tonight.
Granderson's third hit of the night, a double and 2 singles, a couple hits last night, a single and a home run. The comfort level's going up.
He told Meredith yesterday, right?
Yeah,
I'm still
working, working towards it. He hadn't had a 4-for-4 game yet. He's still working towards it.
Here's Jason Nix. That one is driven out to right field. And that ball is caught at the wall. Took an extra base hit away from Nix.
Doesn't that irritate you, Kenny, even watching it? Because when you hit him, your heart's just pounding. You think you might have got a home run or maybe off the top of the wall.
This is Cole Calhoun making a nice play out and right. Almost came out of the glove, but he held on to it. Makes a sparkling catch up against the wall, and Jason Nix, he gets your feelings hurt.
Oh, such a horrible feeling right there.
So Calhoun showing off some defensive skills out there in right field.
It's the time of the year when you're on a team like the Angels, you can open the eyes of some of the people in the organization, tell them that you're ready for the full time.
How about the stat from our guy Quags back in the studio? The Yankees have 2 home runs tonight. They now have 10 home runs in their last 6 games. They had 10 home runs in their previous 30 games. Grounded to first. Let's see how they scored. Both umpires looking at each other.
Yeah, I was looking, who's going to make the call here?
Now they say it's foul.
Mike Socia.
And I believe
this might be it.
That's got to be the home plate umpire's call.
It is his call until the ball passes the first base bag. He's going to go talk to Larry Vanover at first, the first base umpire. It's not his call until the ball passes the first base bag.
So now they're going to appeal. Where they're going to talk with each other.
How did the third base umpire get into this? It's the home plate umpire's call.
The third base umpire is the crew chief, so I'm sure he's there. To mediate.
Now Overbay's back at the batter's box, and Granderson's going back to first. They're going to say it was a foul ball. We'll take a look. Now watch the first base umpire getting in position.
Well, that's got to be the home plate umpire's call. It's in front of first.
Yes, it is. There's no doubt about that, Michael.
And he did not make a call. It was the first base umpire who made the call. Grounded past the diving Green into right field. What a wacky game.
I'll tell you what, Mike Scioscia's got to be pulling his hair out by now. I mean, everything that these calls have just, and of course he's going to get a hit after it, right?
Look, he didn't hit in his seats. The ball going to squeak through, and Granderson's going to head to second base. Bay now with his second hit of the game.
I'm down working out today, all right? Guy comes up to me and says, I hesitate to ask you this, but I want to tell you. He tells me about his father, 99 years old, biggest Yankee fan in the world, became a Yankee fan when Babe Ruth was traded here.
That one is looped into center field, a base hit for Romine, and that's going to load the bases.
Ended up selling peanuts at the ballpark, grew up, unbelievable fan. So we're going to hold some. Next time I come in town in September, we're going to have him out here. 99 years old, still loves to come to the ballpark.
Really?
Remembers the Babe Ruth trade. How about that?
So does everybody in Boston.
Yeah, but they didn't live through it.
You know, with Romine getting a hit there, every Yankee has a hit. Speaking of years old, it's my daughter's birthday today.
You better. You're running out of time.
She's 17 years old today. Well, she's still up. I mean, she's 17 now.
17?
Yes.
I got one 17.
She's the youngest.
She's at Backstreet tonight. Whoa.
My daughter went to the aquarium today.
Yeah?
That's a fishy story.
Hey, I survived Shark Week last week down in Florida.
She was with her mom.
Well, happy birthday, Angelica.
Yeah.
The 1-0. 2-0.
Yeah, last week we're down in Florida, right? And then I was telling you about the TV. We only got half the channels because of the big storm, right? So every night I walked in, the kids were obsessed with Shark Week. Every night I walk out, I got to watch sharks.
It's a big week.
And then go to the ocean the next day, right?
Make you think twice, won't it?
Yeah, I got my toes in.
Every Yankee has at least one hit. Everybody at the party for one night.
Grounded to short. Going to be tough to turn two. There's one. And Nunez just too fast. Granderson scores. And the Yankees take a 9-3 lead.
Well, Michael, you were talking about it, I think it was last night, the fact that the Yankees need to have a few blowouts. Because, you know, the bullpen doesn't have to pitch those leverage situations time and time again where they're under pressure to make a pitch. Now you just throw strikes and let people hit the ball to somebody, and then they make outs.
This is how you really beat teams that are down too. You know, you get ahead of them. You know, they're used to losing, so they start looking forward to tomorrow. You let teams in the game. Guys will, you know, battle until they figure out that, you know, they've probably lost, and all of a sudden you look up at 9 runs. Sawyer's had some good swings tonight.
Yes, he has. Sawyer's going for 3 more runs, but that pitch was there. Sometimes you see it too well, you try and do a little too much instead of letting your hands just do the work. And you try and lean back a little extra so you can hit 500 feet instead of 400.
Get back on that back leg just so it'll travel a little bit farther.
I'll tell you, the Yankees have now scored 4 innings in a row. Okay, 5 out of 6.
Fly ball, right field. Calhoun back, track, wall, see ya! Another home run for Soriano, and the Yankees are pouring it on. "12-3, this is the laugher they've been needing."
Soriano's shown what he brought to the major leagues years ago. I mean, power to left center, to right center.
6 runs batted in today. Not a bad night.
There you see that kind of a slider away. I knew we got it too. We got it in the first row. Yeah, off the top of the wall, actually.
Calhoun made the play once, but not twice.
Weight going towards the ball, and you see there's this kind of the look like, yeah, I got that one.
Cano with a base hit. So Blanton having a rough inning.
Well, he told you it'd been a rough year up until the point he went to the bullpen and retired 18 out of the last 19, but not tonight. The Yankees have jumped on him, including this 3-run home run off the bat of Alfonso Soriano. Yeah, despite the effort of Cole Calhoun out in right field.
Boy, you see how close that came. How are you sure that's out?
Yeah.
I think it hit the top of the wall. The 0-1 to A-Rod. 1-1. There is rain in the forecast, and when you see the grounds crew poised like that, never a good sign.
Have a little powwow over there, huh?
A-Rod could not hold up, and that'll do it. But a 3-run home run by Soriano. A big day for him. There's the first one. Then the second one. For him, it's 6 RBIs tonight, and that is a career high as the Yankees lead 12-3. Long time. The Hyundai scoreboard shows you what it is. 12-16-2, leading 3-3-0. And when you see the mistakes the Angels make, the way their bullpen is pitched, you understand why they're 11 games under 500 and such a disappointment this year. Trumbo gave him a 2-0 lead in the first inning with a home run.
And that was during the time when the Yankees were kind of handing out some free opportunities. You know, he shouldn't have batted in the first inning when you think about it. Shows you how much a game can change even during the course of a game. Completely gone the other way.
You know, early in the game, Vargas had good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, obviously his first game back, you knew he was gonna run out of gas, but you know, he pitched well. Talk about those times, Kenny, earlier in the game where things aren't going well at the plate, and all of a sudden, you know, you start the game off with a home run, but then you have a couple bad at bats, and you see Trumbo. Those voices are starting to think, get back in there. You know, you're not swinging that well now, and then that last pitch is just kind of lack of concentration. It's a frustrating thing. Everybody's been there. I mean, he's a good hitter. He's a good power hitter. Drives in runs. When you go through tough times, you have ups and downs. There's no doubt about it.
You know, Michael, you had talked about how the Angels had such a good record against the Yankees for a period of time. You mentioned that in last night's game.
That one is drilled deep to left field. Soriano back, still back, on the track. He makes the play in front of the 399-foot sign. Busy night for Alfonso Soriano.
But in their last 24 games here at the stadium, including the playoffs, the Angels are 6-18. And that does not include tonight's game. You can see Soriano going back to the warning track and up near the 399 sign. There's a lot of places that would have been in the seats, but not here.
Sori got to that ball easy. You know that? It's a deep left field gap.
One and 0 to Hamilton. 0 for 3 against CC. 2 strikeouts and a fly ball to left. Count 2-0. That man on the mound has been a revelation for the Yankees. What a pickup in spring training from the Mariners. This guy has been unbelievable. His ascension to the high leverage outs in the bullpen, amazing. And they've used him an awful lot. And it seemed like over the last couple of months he's been trying to chip away at an ERA, which kind of got bulky at the beginning with a couple of rough outings. But whatever his numbers are, they're actually better, because with a relief pitch you have 1 or 2 bad outings. It takes forever to get it down.
And even when he had those bad outings at the beginning, he was still striking people out.
And you look, you know, these numbers are kind of skewed. But yeah, he's pitched 43 games, so it's not like it's been a couple weeks or something.
3-2.
If you're an Angels fan, you've given up on the season, but you never give up on that guy right there. I mean, he's worth coming to the ballpark to watch. Like Trout. Ouch.
Up the middle, just past Sean Kelly into center field, so Hamilton picks up a hit.
So Brian Cashman made the deal for Sean Kelly back in February.
Yep.
Sean Kelly comes from Seattle for Abraham Almonte.
So Girardi is going to go to the bullpen. Kelly said, hey, he knew he started the season slow. He said it took him some time to get his arm strength. And here he is after 2 Tommy John surgeries. Been pretty good. Here's Dellin Betances coming in.
Break down tonight's matchup and get the latest from around baseball. Plus Meredith Marakovich with the clubhouse reaction and Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's a WB Mason postgame only on Yes.
Listen, if you're going to want to read it, you got to do it better than that.
That's it. I wanted to space it out a little bit. I'm trying to help you here.
This is a nice story. You see the 6 starts there for Betances. Couldn't throw strikes. After this year, he's out of options. Yankees can't send him back down. So they knew we got to make something of this guy. And they turned him into a reliever. And you know what's happened since then? He's been practically unhittable. 88 strikeouts in 72 and 2/3 innings. I believe he's been unscored upon in his last 30 innings. And the Yankees called him up. He's a big right-hander with big-time stuff. And he throws in the high 90s.
Exactly right, Michael. 30 scoreless innings, 17 appearances.
So runner at first base, 2 outs. And there's a fastball strike.
And over those 30 innings, 41 strikeouts.
And what he has said happened, it's starting to pour now here in New York.
People are running, I don't see any rain.
Poor Dellin Betances. He threw 1 pitch. And the umpires had warned, or the grounds crew had warned the umpires that it was coming. And the first drop, they said, all right, let's get the tarp. So Dellin gets an appearance.
Michael, let's go down and help with the tarp. Come on, let's just make this night complete.
Finally got here from Jersey.
So Dellin Betances, who is from New York, gets to come in and throws 1 fastball for a strike. And now the tarp will go on. So it doesn't seem like it's raining that hard, but they reacted as if there's more coming. All right, so the Yankees keep winning, then they keep hope alive. So let's take a look at the wild card standings, which is the first thing they want to try to approach. They're 7 games back in the loss column behind the Rays, who have lost 5 in a row. And they're leading in the top of the 9th inning 4-3 right now over Seattle. So the Rays are the second wild card. And it's the Orioles, the Royals, the Indians, and the Yankees.
No, the Rays aren't leading. It's Seattle's leading the Rays.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's 5-4 Seattle, and now it's in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
I misread that. So could be 6 in a row for Tampa Bay. And the bottom line is the Yankees have to win games.
Yes,
they have to keep winning games, and then they can't really be, as you said the other day, Paul, you can't look at all of those scores. And if you keep winning games, you're going to move up on people.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And you've got to realize that sometimes winning a game or two. I mean, you've got to sweep a series once in a while. You've got to have a hot streak. You just can't think, oh, okay, we won 2 out of 3. Sometimes you've got to bury a team when they're not playing well. For instance, right here, the Angels.
It was a nice way to start winning series by taking 2 out of 3 against one of the best teams in baseball, the Tigers, and you did it in dramatic fashion. Now, it's tough to win a 4-game series, but if you win tonight, then all you have to do is split the next 2 games. You've taken 3 out of 4. Then you go into Boston feeling good about things. So, yeah, is it a tough task? Absolutely. At 47 games remaining, when Girardi said they have to go 35-12, is that difficult? Absolutely, it's difficult. But can it be done? Yeah, it can be done.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. Wow.
I guess they were right to put the tarp on.
You know what? This is weird. I looked up. I looked at the monitor. I thought, my God, it's raining in the booth here.
It is coming down. Danny Cunningham, the head groundskeeper, was right on this. And that's why they said get the tarp on once it starts raining. Oh, there's that sax. The rain sax. Never a good sound. Means we're in a rain delay. We're coming back, though. We'll keep you entertained, informed. Yankees lead this one 12-3.
we should give props to Dan Cunningham and his crew. I mean, he knew when the rain was coming, and they were prepared. Good call. There's Danny. First man on, last man off.
And the only place that you could really see any kind of standing water is on the warning track, but the outfield drains well, and as we said, they got the tarp on quick enough that there's no mud at all.
Yeah, all these
base paths.
New major league fields, certainly of the new stadiums, and even the old ones, they can be retrofitted, and they have these drainage systems where, they'll play now. There won't be any splashing in the outfield. Paul, you remember when it used to splash and wear out a pair of shoes?
Remember, you talk about some of the new stadiums, going to some of the old ones. I mean, remember old Detroit? I mean, it was wet out there in July when it rained in April. Wouldn't drain.
Cleveland, the field was sinking.
So a swing and a miss right there. Another 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and quickly ahead in the count is Betances, 0-2. And the righty deals. And he just overpowered him, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. We told you he has turned around his season and might have found another avenue for his career. Outstanding for Dellin Betances. We go to the bottom of the 8th. In the minors, really had a hard time with his command, but he has found it as a reliever. 3 straight strikes right there. And Gardner swings at the first pitch. A nice play by Green, and he throws it past Trumbo, allowing Gardner to reach.
This should be an interesting scoring play because you know what kind of pressure Gardner can put on an infielder. And they might go with degree of difficulty here. What do you think?
Yeah, plus it's wet. I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. He would have had him by a couple of steps, but he made a good play to give himself an opportunity.
E4.
Man, that's a tough error. You see, I'm always trying to get hits. Any way I can.
I guess what an official scorer does there is split it into 2 plays. All right, you made the great play to get to it. Now the easy part is the throw. So he kind of made a great play to get himself an error, because most second basemen don't get to that.
Yeah, but it's Gardner going down the line. It's not Joe Blow.
There's a ground ball to first. Throw to second one. On to first. Not in time, as Granderson will beat the throw, and Blanton couldn't handle it anyway.
Way back in the old days, did errors count as hits too on your average?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean way back.
I think way back.
Walks
they might have walks counted.
Walks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm confused a little bit.
I think
it's that rain delay. That's what happened.
I think that's where the saying, "A walk is as good as a hit," came in.
26-minute rain delay. Here is Jason Nix. chop foul. Crowd of 35,013. Most of them have gone home.
I think the score has a lot to do with it.
Now, Kenny, you found out the zip code of 162, which is what the Yankee line is, right?
Yeah.
And it's Rensselaer?
Rensselaer, New York, I believe, yeah.
My sister lives
162.
My sister lives up there.
Really?
Yeah. That's where all the writers live. I'm surprised you don't have a summer cottage up there, man.
I mean, like poets and,
yeah, just people who like to look around and write.
Creativity.
Yeah.
People look around and write. There's a long drive to right. And Calhoun puts it away. Put the second out.
Well, you got all that nice scenery up there, and
it's inspirational.
Creative thoughts. See, you got to hang with him there. That's you don't like to hear that.
Oh, he's had a tough night. He's got robbed of a possible home run. He's hit a couple balls hard.
Yeah, he hit that like a rocket. But he does have one hit, a run scored, and an RBI. Nobody got shut out tonight.
Overbay fouls it back.
None of the starters, I would say. If Gardner had a hit on it, he would have had one too. He didn't even start the game.
That one is driven into right center field, and it's going to be a base hit. Calhoun plays it on a hop. So Overbay picks up his third hit of the night.
Calhoun was ready to leave his feet, but he made the right choice. If the ball gets by him, Granderson would certainly have gotten to third base. He was about ready to lay out and do a swan dive, but said, no, not this time.
You start seeing that body starting to tilt where they're going to dive in as a hitter. You don't want to see it because he might come up with it. But sometimes you want to hustle, you want to play hard, but you don't want to do stupid things out there. I mean, you don't dive for the ball and just let it roll around out there.
Romine fouls it off.
17 hits for the Yankees tonight.
All right, what's the zip code now? 12172 is Stottville, New York.
So we just traveled from Rensselaerville to Stottville.
Stottville. That's where you go when you have writer's block.
Is that it?
Yeah, you go from Rensselaer, you go to Stottville. Yeah.
Sounds like a small village up there.
I've had that before too, Mike. You know, a long time ago, that old Bigelow T, you said possible showers.
That's right.
They showed up. Very accurate on your Bigelow T weather report.
I put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah, you did.
Now, here's a question, Paul. Did it rain enough tonight to ruin your golf game tomorrow?
Might get a little soggy out there.
Yeah, but that'll slow down your score, right? That'll keep your score low.
You always need an excuse out there. Either it's too wet, too dry, too hot, too cold. Never conquer that game, Michael. It doesn't work.
And a walk to Romine, and that loads the bases.
Last time, the Yankees actually had 18 hits April 9th in Cleveland. So they are one hit away from their season high.
Mike Scioscia has not had a season like this. I don't know if he's ever had a season like this. He's always had the Angels be a competitive team, play hard, don't make mistakes, but that has not been the case. And Nunez takes a breaking ball low. That one is looped into center field. It's a base hit for Nunez. 2 more runs will score, and the Yankees are now up 14-3.
They might be moving out of state soon.
We're going to another state. Yeah, we're going to get out of New York here soon.
One 1-4-1-8-2.
Nunez now with 4 runs batted in tonight.
And here's Soriano with a career high 6 runs batted in. He has 1,100 ribbies for his career, and that passes Don Mattingly on the all-time list. One 1-4-1-8-2 is not a zip code. Grounded foul outside of third.
Well, that was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
We were all over the place.
Yeah.
I told you we were going out of state.
A lot of numbers on that bat.
Wade's leg. I saw Sawyer for the first time today. I said, "You still using my bat?" He laughed. He said, "Yeah, but I'm getting older. It's getting lighter now." He went down a couple ounces. One day in batting practice 100 years ago when I was playing, Michael, he picked it up and he started using it. He got hot with it. He said, "Can I use your bat?" I said, "Certainly." We went with it for a while.
For a long while.
Yeah, it was 35-35. Now he's down to 35-33. Just lighten it up a little bit.
Now you went with 35-35 right to the end?
Mm-hmm.
The 0-2. 1-2. That's the last 5 innings for the Yanks. Only time they didn't score, first and the third. So they have matched their season high in runs with 14. High fly ball, left field. Shuck will put it away, and that will do it. So the Yankees get 2 more runs. They leave 1 man on. Check that, 2 men on. Continue this 4-game series. Coverage starts at 6 with Audi batting practice today. And the Tri-State Ford pregame, it's only on Yes. Dellin Betances got the final out of the 8th. Now we'll pitch the 9th. And there's a strike. We told you trouble throwing strikes as a starter. He's a big guy, and usually big, tall pitchers have a hard time getting everything in sync, and it took Randy Johnson a long time. Good breaking ball.
Wow. Nasty.
But he said that pitching in relief and pitching more often is making him better because he's on the mound more.
You know, I'm thinking when you look out of the mound, he's pretty imposing, isn't he?
99 on that one.
Wow. How tall is he? 6'8", 6'9"?
I don't know, but you know, in the old days where you would fight and battle to get in the bullpen because you'd have some good at-bats, you don't want to be in the bullpen this day and age. Everybody throws 100.
That was 98 miles an hour.
6'8".
Coming at you,
yeah,
99.
Yeah.
Woo.
You know, that tall. It's like he's handling the ball to the catcher.
He's thrown 7 strikes in 7 pitches.
8.
Wow. I mean, some people look like they're throwing 90. That's just nice and easy, just because of his size and his arm speed. Ball just explodes. Took a little off that one. 95. Kind of turned it over a little bit.
Change up.
I got some good news for you two guys, you two hitters. The Gardner ground ball in the 8th has scored a hit.
You know what? I'm happy for him.
I am too, because it should have been.
Ground ball up the middle. Nunez throws it past Overbay, and Field will reach. The ball goes into the seats, and Field will go to second.
Where's that white out, Kenny? Get it out. Fix that scorecard up.
Nunez had thrown off the glove of Overbay. This is going to be E6. A base hit and an E6.
Yeah, Alfredo Griffin over there heading for the hills. First base coach.
He was Rookie of the Year one year.
Good, solid player.
Betances, born in Washington Heights and raised in Brooklyn. Grew up a Yankee fan. He made his Major League debut in 2011 with the Yankees. So he was born in Washington Heights, and then family moved to the Lower East Side as that one is wrapped into right field. A base hit for Shuck, and Tommy Field scores. It's now 14-4.
Threw that great breaking ball early in the inning, but then you look at the scoreboard and you have to pitch to it at times, and you just keep pumping in strikes. You give up a few hits.
Now here's something you didn't know, Paul.
Oh, there's a lot.
As a 10-year-old, he was sitting behind you for David Wells' perfect game. He was in the bleachers.
Really?
Yep.
As a 10-year-old.
As a 10-year-old. You aren't 10 then.
I can hear him now. It's coming to Paul, the last out. It's a done deal.
I was saying the same thing. Just catch it. Don't do anything stupid here.
That was a great game.
You call that game, Ken?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Line drive left field. Splashing out there as Soriano will get the ball into second base. It's a single for Calhoun. So 3 hits allowed by Betances. Now Betances was expected to be a first-round draft pick in 2006, but being a bright kid, he committed to attend Vanderbilt University. So he lasted all the way to the 8th round when the Yankees selected him. They gave him $1 million signing bonus to forego going to Vanderbilt, and he became a Yankee prospect.
David Price, he was a Vanderbilt guy too. Tough school to get into.
Yeah, it is. Very good school. Now, I believe in this day and age, if he falls to the 8th round, you can't give him $1 million.
You can't.
Yeah.
No, those days are over. Each slot has a slot of money. And just to complete his bio, because he's a local kid, he went to Grand Street Campus School in Brooklyn. One. That one is driven to right field. And that ball is gone. A home run for Mike Trout. It's a 3-run shot. And now the Yankees lead 14-7.
That's home run number 21 for Mike Trout.
I'll tell you what, you can only just look and see what this guy's going to become. And I heard somebody say that there hasn't been a guy that stepped into the league with as much impact as Trout since Ken Griffey Jr. And if you think about it, Jr. was more of a, the boyish natural baseball player. But I tell you, Mike Trout can do a lot of the same things. Power, good outfielder, run, great instincts.
24 runs batted in his last 17 games.
That's just raw power, staying behind the ball. I mean, that ball actually got deep, almost to the plate, and he drove it out of here.
Well, they are really hitting Betances right now. It shows you the difference between Scranton Wilkes-Barre and the major leagues.
Got to mix in a few breaking balls here. He's just trying to erase outs off the scoreboard, but these are major league hitters. Yeah. You keep pumping fastballs, they're going to hit it.
Yeah, and you almost feel sorry for him to the point. I mean, he's throwing the ball well, but they know what's coming. He's thrown a couple breaking balls that have just locked people up. And after a while, you start getting hit. You start throwing more breaking balls.
So Jabba Chamberlain has to get up. And that'll bring up Chris Nelson. Runner goes as Trumbo will take second on defensive indifference.
Yeah, there was your breaking ball too. Let's mix a few more in here.
Things were going so well. Strikeout, ground ball is short. Nunez threw it away, and everything has gone awry since then. Count 2-0. (14-7) Yankees over the Angels. And the count 3-0. And a strike. Runner at second, 1 out, 3-1. 4 runs in here in the 9th. And he ends up walking Nelson. And I think that's going to do it for Betances. And that'll be a disappointment for the kid, who had 30 straight scoreless innings before being called up at AAA and started off firing BBs past the Angels, but again, it all fell apart after the throwing error by Nunez. So they'll bring in Jabba Chamberlain. Betances departs. Yankees are up 14-7. We move along. It's presented by Subway. Everybody, as Kenny likes to say, is in the party. Soriano had the biggest amount of fun. 2 home runs, a career high 6 runs batted in. 4 ribbies for Eduardo Nunez. A couple of home runs for Soriano. A home run for Vernon Wells, his first one since the middle of May. A lot of runs scored. 2 by Wells, 2 by Granderson, 3 by Overbay, including 3 hits for Lyle, 3 hits for Granderson. So a whole lot of hitting for the Yankees as they built up a 14-7 lead.
19 hits total. That's a season high for the Yankees tonight. And here's Alfonso Soriano. He did the most amount of dancing at the party today.
He did.
So we go from a hard-throwing Yankee prospect to a former hard-throwing Yankee prospect. He still throws hard, but you can't call him a prospect anymore. This is his 6th year. And he has struggled. He's still got the fastball, still has a slider, but every mistake he makes, they seem to be hitting as he has a 4.80 ERA. And he's going to face a dangerous hitter here in Josh Hamilton. First and second with 1 man out. And that one is lined to right field. And Granderson makes the play.
That might have been one of those knuckleballs.
Those will mess with you too. They start dropping, they get a little topspin on them, but they do. They fool you as an outfielder because they're hit right at you, and you see Granderson. It's a good play. That's the hardest play in my mind, Kenny, for an outfielder, is that dive right in front of you. You can't get to either side where you can watch it.
Hank Conger is going to pinch hit for Green.
Remember, that's not Granderson's natural position either. That's a tough play there in right field.
Count 1-0. There's a strike. He wants Romine to go through the signs again. This will be the first time in 7 starts that the Yankees have won a Sabathia game. He had been 0-4 in those last 6 starts, and the team 0-6.
Wow. Where's that pitch? You don't hear me say that very often, Kenny.
They look pretty good, you're right.
The 2-1. Fouled straight back here. Hits the facing just over our booth.
Uh-oh. We got Bedlam down there, Michael. They're fighting over a ball. The right guy got it. See
Look at that smile.
That's awesome. That's worth the rain delay right there, Michael.
Very cool. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Yankees up by 7. Pinch hitter Hank Conger. .96 miles an hour, and the count 3-2.
You know, the people in the stands remind me of my wife. You know, you ever go to a concert? Do you ever like leave during the encore just to beat traffic?
If it's an artist I like, if I know it's the last thing because I've got the set list before, I'll leave in the middle of the song. Just to get to the exits.
Yeah. Really? What do you... He texts it to you or what? Who you talking about?
Bruce sometimes texts it.
Yeah, my wife will not leave until it's over. I'm like, come on, let's go.
3-2. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it. Jalba closes it out, and an impressive laugher for the Yankees as they take this one 14-7, and they have now won 3 in a row and 4 of their last 5. 6 ribbies and 2 home runs for Soriano. The 6 ribbies, that's a career high. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. Yankees held on, and then they pulled away. And they've taken the first 2 of this 4-game set from the Angels.